Hey guys, we're going to learn something beautiful in this class, and that's everything about your muscular systems. We're going to look at it from the beginning to the end. After muscular system, we'll now enter into your skeletal system, because the entire topic is your muscular and what skeletal system. Are you ready with me? Let's get together. First, under muscular system, this is our lesson 1. What should you know about this? Is very simple. Just know that muscles are the ones that we often refer to as your flesh. Are you seeing it now? What do we call them? Flesh. For instance, you want to go and buy meat in the market. The one you say, I want to buy cow meat, right? The one they will cut for you, that's the muscle, that's the flesh. Are you seeing it now? So they are closely associated with bones to give shape, right, to the body. So your muscles and your bones, they're the ones that will give shape to the body, not only bones. And you must know this quickly, that in mammals, the flesh is typically what? Red in color. That's why you see all these guys here like this. These are muscles. These are the flesh. Like in animals, these are the things that you eat. Is typically red in color. And you must know this, the general properties of muscular system. What are they? There are a couple of them. Number one major property of muscular system is called contractility. What is it called? Contractility. What does it mean? Simple. All muscles, right, are contractile. So your muscular tissues are contractile. Oh yes. So a contracting muscle, if a muscle is contracting, what will happen? It will pull the insertion towards the origin. So in muscles, there's what is called the insertion and the origin of a muscle. I'll show you. So when the insertion is pulled towards the origin, the muscle becomes shorter and what? Thicker. And some muscles can even reduce in size, right? Up to half. Now, a full muscle, right? Let's say the muscle is 30 millimeters. The muscle can reduce, right, to like 15 millimeters, or it can even reduce to 1/3, right, of the entire length. So instead of 30 millimeters, it can even reduce to like 10 millimeters, right? When they are resting, it is 30, but when it undergo contraction, it will reduce in size. So this is one beautiful property about what? Muscles. What is it called? Contractility. Meaning that your muscular tissues are what? Contractile. Another powerful thing about this contractility is this. Look at this very quickly. Look at your muscles. This muscle here, this particular one that I'm touching here, right? It's called the biceps brachii muscle. What is it called? The bicep brachii, right? So if this is your bicep brachii muscle, this is the origin of the bicep brachii, and this is the insertion point of the bicep brachii. So when you try to flex your hand, just flow with me as I use some of the terms. When you try to flex this elbow joint that you have here, what happened? This muscle here, this is the bicep brachii, it will undergo contraction, and the insertion will be pulled towards the what? Origin. Are you seeing that? So this is the biceps brachii. This is the triceps. This muscle at the back here, right? This is the what? The triceps brachii. So we have the biceps brachii and then the what? The triceps. Are you getting it now? If you understand that very quickly with me, that means you can flow together. Another property is called muscle tone. What is it called? Muscle tone. Muscle tone is called tonus. So what do we mean by the tonus of a muscle? Very simple. A muscle at rest, right? So if a muscle is at rest, it is in slightly contracted state. And that slightly contracted state of the muscle is called the tone of the muscle, or the tonus of the what? Of the muscle. Now, what does this simply mean? It simply means to us that muscles never fully relaxes. No, a muscle cannot fully relax. They are never fully relaxed. They stay slightly what? Tight, even when they are not moving. And because they are slightly tight, we call that the tone of the muscle, or the tonus of the what? Muscle. Are you seeing it? So when they say muscle tone or the tonus of a muscle, you understand what we mean by that, right? Muscles never fully what? Relaxes. They are slightly contracted when they are in their state of what? Rest. Does it make sense? Another property is their nerve and blood supply. So muscles are innervated and they have blood supply. Yes, now muscles are richly, not poorly, richly supplied with nerve endings. So they are richly innervated, especially at the end plate types. And don't forget this, that if the nerve is severed, probably like during accident, the nerve get damaged, what happens? Muscle tone is lost. So the tone of the muscle, the contractility of the muscle is lost, making the muscle to be flabby. The muscle will just be there like that. So the muscle cannot carry out its function. The muscle will be flabby. It's just there. Are you seeing it now? Why? Because there is loss of innervation to that particular muscle. And you must not forget this, that muscles are richly supplied with blood vessels and capillaries. What do they have? Blood vessels and capillaries. So muscles are highly innervated. They are highly supplied with blood vessels as well as what? Capillaries. If you get that very fast with me, please look at this powerfully well. Let me show you something here. What can we see from this muscle? Very simple. Of course, it's a skeletal muscle, right? You can see the neuromuscular junction. It is supplied with your what? Your nerve cells, the one you call your what? Your neurons, right? That's the motor neurons, is what is innervating that particular skeletal muscle that we have there. And of course, these are the muscle fibers that we have there, your myofibrils, and then the myelin sheath. As we move, I'm going to talk about all of this, right? Under your nervous system, we're going to talk about these particular guys there, the myelin sheath and the rest, Schwann cells and all of that, oligodendrocytes, right? But for the now, as we move in these particular classes, we're going to look at your muscle fibers, your myofibrils. So we're going to learn all of these things in details. So this is a sweet character of your muscles. They are highly supplied with your what? Your nerves. That means they are rich in nerve supply, as well as your blood vessels. Look at your artery. This guy here, sure you see now, that's artery. This guy that I'm pointing out, that's artery. This is your what? Your vein that you can see. Artery is red there, your vein is what? Blue there. If you get that very quickly with me. Another character is in terms of their composition. What are muscles made up of? Now listen, in terms of composition, don't forget this quickly, that muscles, they form about 40% of mammals' total body's weight. So the entire human body, right? 40% of the body weight of a man is made up of what? Muscle. How many percent? 40% of your weight is muscle. And don't forget this weekly, that muscles are made up of the following. Number one, 75% out of the 40% is water. So the entire human body, 40% of it is what? Muscle. And out of that 40%, 75% of it is what? Water. Aside water, what do we also have there? Protein. Which protein? Actin and myosin. They are the major proteins that you see in your muscle. Actin and myosin filaments. And then you also have your what? Your fat is there, right? Your glycogen, your mineral salt, your ATP, adenosine triphosphate, as well as your phosphagen. All these guys are parts or components that you see in your what? Your muscle. If you get that very quickly with me, please let me show you something lovely here. Look at this. From this diagram here, what can you see there? You can see your actin and your myosin, right? First, look at the muscle here, right? If that's the muscle, inside the muscle, you can see your what? Your muscle fascia, your fascia. Now, and you can see your muscle fibers. I'm going to explain all of these things. And then you can see some of your blood vessels inside that. Inside this muscle fiber, when you go deep down, you are going to see your what? Your myofibril. And you can see your what? Your sarcomere. Your sarcomere is there. Now, if you look into this, your myofibrils, what do we see there? Two major things. Actin and your what? Your myosin. They are the two major proteins that you have in your what? Your muscle. Actin and myosin. Actin and what? Myosin. And you must understand this quickly with me, right? In terms of the structure of a muscle, what should you know? Don't forget that muscle consists of elongated cells. Those elongated cells are called fibers. What are they called? Fibers. So as we move, I'm going to be talking about muscle fibers, and you see it with your two eyes, which in turn contain your fibrils and filaments. So inside your muscle fibers, what do we have there? The fibrils and the filaments are inside the what? The muscle fibers. And don't forget that muscles are effectors. What are they? Effectors. They are effector organs, meaning that they respond to stimuli either directly or what? Indirectly. So they respond. They have the ability to respond to stimuli. That's how we say they are what? They are effector organs. If you get that very quickly with me, what's the structure of a muscle? JAMB and WAEC, they want us to know this. Let's go together. Under the structure of a muscle, number one, let's dwell on this guy very well. Inside your muscle, what do you see there? You can see your muscle fibers, right? Inside your muscle. Inside the muscle fiber is the myofibril. So number one is the muscle. Inside the muscle fiber is there. Inside the muscle fiber, you have the what? Myofibril. Inside the myofibril is now where you have the actin and the what? The myosin. But look at this. In the structure of a muscle, a whole muscle, let's say your biceps. I told you that this is the biceps, right? It consists of fibers ranging from 1 to 40 millimeters in length. And you must know this, that each end, right, of your muscle is attached to bone by strong white fibrous band called tendon. Don't cram, understand? Now, this particular line alone is one powerful question that they will keep asking every now and then. There is what is called your bone to muscle, and there's what is called your bone to bone. Come with me. What connects your bone to your muscle, or you say your muscle to your bone? What connects them is called your what? Your tendon. What is it called? It's called tendon. That's how we say that each end, right, of a muscle is attached to bone by a strong white fibrous band, and that band is called tendon. So what connects muscle to bone or bone to muscle is called your what? Your tendon. If you forget this, I will nod you. What connects bone to bone is called ligaments. This is the origin of BBL. So what connects your bone to bone is ligaments. So when you hear BBL, what's BBL? Bone to bone, ligaments. What about muscle to bone? Your muscle to bone is called your what? Your tendon. This one alone is majority of the questions they keep asking under your muscular system. Does it make sense? If you get that very fast with me, look at this very quickly. Let's say you are looking at the posterior side of someone's leg. So within that posterior surface of the person's leg, what do you see there? You can see that there is a sweet muscle here. This muscle here is called the triceps surae. What is it called there? The triceps surae. As the triceps surae is running down, right, it's coming to join to this calcaneus bone that we have there. This bone there is called the calcaneus. That's the bone of the foot there. Are you seeing it now? Now, what will link this triceps surae with the calcaneus bone there? I've told you before that what link your bone, right, to your muscle, what is it called? It is called the tendon, right? So a tendon is going to do that, and that tendon is called the Achilles tendon. What is it called? Achilles tendon. Are you seeing it now? It's possible that that tendon ruptures. Sure, you see, maybe accidents, the person was playing rough play, the person now went to hit the leg, the posterior surface of the leg on a sharp surface, and that Achilles tendon rupture, or they carry cutlass during war, or maybe during riot or whatever, and they now hit the edge of the cutlass on the person's leg on that region. What will happen there? That tendon will rupture. If the tendon rupture, it simply means it will be difficult for this bone and this muscle to act together to facilitate movement. Sure, you are seeing it now. It will become a problem. Are you getting it? And please don't forget this. If we look into the structure of a muscle very well, flow with me. What should we see there? Please, under your muscle fibers, right? In a muscle fiber, you know, if you look into a muscle, you will see the muscle fiber. If I look into a muscle fiber, what will I see? This is what I'm going to see there. So inside your muscle fiber, right, what are we going to see? Number one there is called the sarcolemma. What is it called? The sarcolemma. Lemma, like your plasma lemma. You know, the word lemma there, it means like a membrane that covers the surface. So what will cover the entire muscle fiber there is called the sarcolemma. So sarcolemma will cover your entire muscle fiber. Number two is called the sarcoplasm. What is it called? Sarcoplasm. Sarcoplasm is different from cytoplasm. The cytoplasm of your muscle fiber is called the sarcoplasm. Sapita, talk to me. What is sarcoplasm? Sarcoplasm is the cytoplasm of a muscle fiber. What we cover the entire muscle fiber is called the sarcolemma. And then there's what is called the myofibrils. What is it? Myofibrils. Inside your muscle fiber, what we have there, all those parallel fibers that are there, all those parallel long stalks. What are they? They are called the myofibrils. And then your myofibrils are held together by your striations. You better listen, no book, no heart. Pay attention. Let's go. First, each muscle fiber is made up of what? A couple of things. Number one is called multinucleated. So listen carefully. So a muscle fiber is multinucleated. And because it is multinucleated, that means there are a lot of nucleus there. Because it is multinucleated, right, what will happen? The entire muscle fiber will act as one unit. If they are contracting, they will contract together. They want to relax, they will relax together. That phenomenon is called your what? Your syncytium. Are you getting it? All of them are behaving as a single unit. Number two thing about your muscle fiber is that it is tapered at both ends. So as your muscle fiber is running, right, it runs downwards like this. It is tapered, right, at what? Both ends. I'll show you shortly. Another thing very quickly. Number three, it is filled with sarcoplasm. What is sarcoplasm? It is the specialized cytoplasm of your muscle fiber. That is called what is sarcoplasm. And then number four, it is bounded by sarcolemma. What is sarcolemma? It is the membrane that binds the muscle fiber together. That membrane is called the sarcolemma. So there is your sarcoplasm, there is your sarcolemma, and then another thing is that it contains parallel myofibrils. All those long stuff now, right? That's the myofibrils. And those myofibrils, each of them they are now showing what striations that holds them together. More like what bundles the myofibrils together are the striations there. Again, look at this very quickly. From this, what can we observe? Very simple. You can observe, number one, your sarcoplasm. What sarcoplasm? The cytoplasm of your muscle fiber. Number two is the sarcolemma. Sarcolemma is the membrane that will bind all of it together. It is multinucleated. We have established that, right? And then there are myofibrils in them, and those myofibrils show element of striations. Simple. If you get that, you are out of there. Hold on a bit very quickly. This class you're watching right now is just one out of a series of classes within the LearnLift app. And guess what? LearnLift is a mobile app, right, where you study intensively as well as extensively. So within the LearnLift app, you can see it very quickly. You have access to all your subjects there. You have your use of English, you have your mathematics, you have your physics, you have your chemistry, you have your biology, you have your JAMB 400. All of them, they are different subjects within the LearnLift app. And of course, you have different topics under every particular subject, and everything has been narrowed down to you, down to the curriculum, with their past questions and everything to the core. And don't forget that within the LearnLift app, you have access to your video lessons, where you can start going through your classes uninterrupted. You have access to your notes. Oh yes, your notes, well organized, well structured for you, and you are running through all of them. And of course, inside the notes are past questions for you. You have access to your past questions in CBT format, where you can go through all of them extensively well. All of it within the LearnLift app for you and more. And guess what? Very important. You want to download the LearnLift app, all you need to just do is head down to Play Store or your App Store and type LearnLift. That's all. Once you type LearnLift, of course, the app is going to pop up for you, and you're going to see the logo, and then you download the app, and then you follow up on your studies intensively. Before we proceed, let's get back to class. Flow with me. What are the types of muscles that we have? When we are done, I'll give you all their questions together. Under the types of muscles that we have, what are they? We can group your muscles generally into three. Number one is called unstripped muscle. What is it called? Unstripped muscle. Pay attention. Again, what is it called? Unstripped muscle. Unstripped muscle is also called your involuntary muscle, also called your smooth muscle, also called your non-skeletal muscle. So any of the four terms we use, we are correct. Unstripped muscle, number one. Number two is called the stripped muscle. So aside on stripped muscle, we have your stripped muscle. Unstripped muscle is also called your involuntary muscle. Your stripped muscle is also called your Your voluntary muscle. So unstripped muscle or unstripped muscle, right? For this guy, what do we have? Stripped muscle. If here is involuntary muscle, what do we have there? Voluntary muscle. Here is smooth muscle. What do we have there? Skeletal muscle. So when I say smooth muscle, it's also called your the other side will be skeletal. Another name for your smooth muscle is non-skeletal muscle. Are you seeing it now? And then the third type of muscle we have is called the cardiac muscle, also called your heart muscle. So these are the three types of muscles that we have. Unstripped muscle, also called the involuntary muscle, also called the smooth muscle, also called the non-skeletal muscle. That's number one. Number two is the stripped muscle, also called the voluntary muscle or the skeletal muscle. That's number two. And then number three is called the cardiac muscle or the heart muscle. Are you ready to rock this with me, guys? Let's go together. First, I like you to understand this. The first part is called the unstripped muscle, which is the involuntary muscle, right? Or your smooth muscle or your non-skeletal muscle. Where do we see it? Where is it found? Where is the location? You see them in things like your wall of guts, right? Your guts, your digestive system, the walls of those your digestive system, whether your small intestine, your large intestine, all the walls, the walls of those intestines, your stomach. What do we have there? The muscles you have there is called your Your non-skeletal muscle. Are you getting it now? And don't forget this, you also see them in your blood vessels, right? Your blood vessels, you see them there. You see them in your iris, your ciliary body of the eye is also there. Your dermis of the skin, your urinary bladder, your genital tracts, and your bronchioles. That's where you see all of these guys. Are they called the voluntary muscles or involuntary muscles? Of course, they are the involuntary muscle, because you are not the one that will go and tell and the walls of the guts when to function and when not to function. Are you seeing it now? And please, what is their structure like? Very simple. They are long, they are narrow spindle-shaped fibers, and don't forget this, that they have central nucleus, and of course they have longitudinal what? Myofibrils. That's in terms of their structure. And in terms of their features, what should you know? They are not voluntary muscles, so they are never under voluntary control. That's why they are involuntary. You are not the one that will control them. They are non-skeletal muscles. Are you seeing it now? So they are the ones that function on their own, the walls of your small intestine. You are not the one that will tell it when to act or when not to act. They act on their own. That's why they are what? They are involuntary muscles. And don't forget is that they are controlled by autonomic nervous system. Oh yes. It's not central nervous system that controls them. Autonomic what? Nervous system. They act on their own autonomously. And don't forget this, that they are not easily fatigued. Never. They are never easily fatigued. And of course, the movement there is slow and what? Rhythmical. The movement is slow and what? Rhythmical. If you get that very fast with me, what is their functions? Their functions include the following. They control opening and the closing of body cavities, tubes and ducts. They control the opening and the closing of them. You are not the one that will tell them when to open or when to close. And don't forget this quickly, that they have circular muscles. The circular muscles, they narrow the lumen, and they also have longitudinal muscles that help to widen their lumen. So they have both the circular muscles and what? Longitudinal muscles in the involuntary muscles, or your what? Your smooth muscles that we have. And don't forget this quickly, that in the iris, the circular muscles will constrict the pupils, while the radial muscle will help to what? Dilate the pupils of the eyes. The second part is called the stripped muscles. The stripped muscles are the voluntary muscles or the skeletal muscles. Now listen, when they say skeletal muscle, that means they are joining with bone. That's the easiest way you should know this. For instance, these biceps now, is it skeletal muscle or non-skeletal muscle? Of course, it is skeletal muscle. All the muscles of your around your body, right? The muscles that are joining with bones, they are skeletal muscles. So all these muscles cannot act on their own. You are the one that will enforce their action. That's why they are voluntary. They are not involuntary muscle. Like your lumen of the small intestine, right? All those guys are involuntary. They act on their own. You cannot control them. So what should I know about stripped muscles, or the voluntary muscles, or the skeletal muscles? Very simple. Look at this very quickly. You can see first, this is your bone, right? This is your bone. You can identify your bone. And this guy here is your tendon. That's your tendon, right? And this is your muscle. What connects muscle to bone? Tendon. Your bone to bone, BBL, ligaments. Sure you see, muscle to bone is tendon. And please, I'd like you to pay attention here before we move. First, inside your muscle, when I look into this muscle fully like this, right, what will I see? There's what is called your fascicles. What is it called? Your fascicles. So inside the muscles, you can see a lot of fascicles that are in the muscles there, right? Beautiful. Now, each of the fascicles, there is what wraps the fascicles. It is called the perimysium. What is it called? The perimysium. So perimysium wraps each of the fascicles. Now, and all of those fascicles together, all the entire fascicles, right, they are wrapped by the epimysium. Each of the fascicle is wrapped by the perimysium. All of the fascicles put together that will form the muscle, they are wrapped by the what? Epimysium. And if you look deeply, right, into each of the fascicles, what will I see there? You can now see your myofibrils from each of the fascicles pulling out. Are you seeing it now? And don't forget that we said that all of these guys, your muscle fibers, this guy here is your muscle fiber. We said that each of the muscle fibers, they are multinucleated, right? And of course, we have dealt on your what? Your sarcolemma. Your sarcolemma is more like the membrane that will wrap the what? The muscle fiber. So it's okay to say, if I lift my muscle, what will I see? Number two, I'll see the fascicle. If I lift the fascicle, I'll see the muscle fiber. Inside the muscle fiber is the myofibril. Does it make sense? Okay, let's go together. First, what are the features that I should know regarding my skeletal muscles? They include the following. Number one, they are under voluntary control. Oh yes, they are voluntarily controlled, not involuntary. They are voluntary, meaning they are controlled by the central nervous system. Aya, Sir Peter, talk to me. Your involuntary muscles, right, which are the smooth muscles, are controlled by autonomic nervous system. They are autonomously controlled. But your voluntary muscles, which are the skeletal muscles, they are controlled by the central nervous system, which is the CNS. Does it make sense? as we move, I will teach you your nervous system in details. And don't forget this quickly, that they are striated or striated in appearance. Are you seeing it now? And how do they work? They work in antagonistic pairs. How do they work? Antagonistic pairs. As one is undergoing contraction, the other one is undergoing what? Relaxation for movement to occur. And don't forget this, that how do they work antagonistically? If one flex, look at this very quickly. Look at this muscle here. It's called the biceps muscle. This is the triceps, right? Your biceps, your triceps. But I say bicep brachii, tricep brachii, you are still correct. Your biceps, your triceps. Now, as this biceps here, if I do it like this, what happened to biceps? Biceps is relaxed. Triceps is undergoing contraction. Better look at me. If I do my hand like this, what happened? Biceps is undergoing contraction and triceps is undergoing relaxation. So the way I've done this, and this is called flexion, the hand has flexed. So what happened there? We said that they work antagonistically. So as this guy here, as I'm doing it like this guy's undergoing what? Flexion. This is flexing. Let me just put the basic terms for you. Bending. As I'm bending the hand like this guy is being flexed. This muscle is flexed. Biceps. What will happen to triceps? Triceps will be what? Extended. It will undergo extension or straightening. So as one muscle is bending, the other one is undergoing straightening. They are working antagonistically. Two of them cannot go and undergo flexion as once. They can't go and contract as once. If you undergo contraction, when two antagonistic muscles undergo contraction at the same time, muscle pull will occur. Oh, that's why I say that muscle pull. Sometimes your leg, right? You feel muscle pull from your thigh because the two muscles are undergoing flexion and flexion at the same time. Instead of one to undergo flexion, the other one to undergo relaxation. The two of them are contracting simultaneously. What will happen? Muscle pull will occur. And don't forget this quickly. Example of these muscles are your biceps, right? Your biceps. They have to flex the arm. Look at the biceps here. And then, of course, your triceps. So when I leave my hand like this, what happened? Biceps here is relaxed. When I do my hand like this is your biceps, right? It's undergoing contraction, flexed. This here is your triceps. It's undergoing what? Relaxation. It's being straightened or extended. Are you getting it now? You understand that that's all, no stress. Please, what are the structures that I should hold tight when it comes to your skeletal muscles? Don't forget number one. Skeletal muscles are composed of bundles of fibers called fasciculi. What is it called? Fasciculi. Bundle by bundle of fibers called fasciculi. And fasciculi is plural. The singular is fasciculus. I'll show you again because I showed you before. Bundles of fibers that you have, right, in your skeletal muscles. What do we call them? Fasciculi. Another thing, number two, each fasciculus, right, is enclosed by what? Perimysium. What we enclose each fasciculus? Perimysium. And don't forget that the entire muscle is enclosed by what? Epimysium. So there is perimysium, there is epimysium. I've dwelt on fasciculi. And then number four, each fiber contains what? Myofibril. So these four things, now let me show you. Fasciculi, perimysium, epimysium, myofibril. Look at this structure very quickly. From this structure, what can we see? Number one is the skeletal muscle, right? If I look into the skeletal muscle, what will I see there? I will see different what? Fasciculus, right? Fasciculi are all around it. So each of them is called the fasciculus. So this is number two, fasciculus. So the fasciculus are wrapped or enveloped by the what? By the perimysium. So what enveloped the fasciculus is the perimysium. And what now encloses the entire muscles, right? All the fasciculus put together, we form the muscle. What we enclose all of them is called the what? Epimysium. When you look into the fasciculus clearly, what will you see there? You see the myofibril. What is it that? What is it called? Myofibril. Myofibril is what you look there. And the myofibril there is like the muscle fibers there that you now see your myosin and the what? Actin filaments from them. Does it make sense? If you get that, what is the function of skeletal muscles? Very simple and cheap. Number one function is that they assist in what? Movement. What do they assist in? Movement. So whether you are walking or you are running or you are swimming or you are jumping or what will assist in your movement? Of course, what assists there? What? Your skeletal muscle. Are you seeing it now? Because are they voluntary or they are involuntary? Of course, they are what? Voluntary what? Muscles. They are not involuntary. They are voluntary muscles. Are you getting it now? And don't forget number two, they assist in your lifting, carrying, pushing, pulling, rolling, throwing, all of these activities. Voluntary muscles, right? Or skeletal muscle. And don't forget number three, they help in what? Mouth activities like chewing, a lot of muscles, right? Assisting chewing, opening of the mouth, closing of the mouth, shouting, all of that. In fact, the way I'm talking to you now, what's assisting me? Skeletal muscles, or your voluntary muscles. And don't forget that you also assist in activities like your farming, your sports, your driving, your hunting, your riding, your writing, your singing, your clapping, your jumping, your dancing. Skeletal muscles. You get that very quickly with me. Number 3 is called the cardiac muscles. What is it? Cardiac muscles. Cardiac muscles are called the heart muscles. Now, of course, this is your what? Your heart muscles there, right? Beautiful. And don't forget this quickly. Where are they located? In the walls of the what? Heart. That's where you see it. And you must know this in terms of their structure very quickly. They are short and cylindrical cells. What are they? Short and cylindrical cells. And they are connected by oblique cross connections. Here is the most important thing about this guy that you must know. They will keep asking you. You call for any university post UTME and they give it to you. Then I say, I don't know it. And not you. Your cardiac muscle, don't forget that they are striated. They are just like skeletal muscles, but they have their own difference. And they form intercalated disc. This is the sweet thing. What is it that makes your cardiac muscle to be different from every other? They are the only ones that have intercalated disc. What do they have? Intercalated disc. You read your past question. Intercalated disc is found in dash. What is it? Where you see it is your what? Your cardiac muscle. Intercalated disc. You get that very quickly with me. What is the feature of your cardiac muscle? Number 1, they are the intermediates between the voluntary and the involuntary muscles. They are the intermediates. And don't forget quickly that they have rapid action, yet not easily fatigued, because they beat all through life of the individual. They contract rhythmically without stopping through the life of the entire existence of the person. And you must know this, that they are innervated by 2 major things. Number 1, your cranial nerve. Cranial nerve, we supply them with innervation. Number 2, vagus nerve. Vagus nerve will give the autonomic innervation to it. That's why it is under the autonomous what? Nervous system. That's your vagus nerve. So what are the nerves supplied there? The cranial and the vagus nerve are the 2 major things. What's the function of your cardiac muscle? When it comes to cardiac muscle, number 1, of course, please, they are controlled by the parasympathetic nervous system. The parasympathetic nervous system has the vagus nerve that will slow down the heart rate. What slows down heart rate? Is it the paras or the sympaths? Parasympathetic nervous system will slow it down. Sympaths will do what? Increase it. So sympathetic nervous system and adrenaline will increase what? Heart rate. For instance, the shoot gun where you are, boom, what will happen? Away, there will be a rush of what? Adrenaline, right? Emergency hormone, whether for flight or for fright, right? Emergency hormone will be released, adrenaline. And then before you know, your heartbeat will do what? Increase. Your heart rate will increase, and so on and so forth. So your parasympathetic nervous system will slow down. Your sympaths will do what? Will increase. And don't forget this, that heartbeat increases during exercise to supply more oxygen and glucose to the body. And don't forget this, that this helps to oxidize glucose for energy and then remove what? Carbon dioxide. If you get these functions of your cardiac muscles, that means you are doing well. Please, what are the benefits of regular exercise on muscles and joints? Your exercise is important for your muscles and joints. What are the benefits? They include the following. Number 1, your muscle tone for effective and efficient contraction. There is need for muscle tone for efficient and effective contraction. And exercise is what we ensure all of these things so that muscle will not be flabby. Number 2, they prevent muscle aches. Exercise will prevent muscular aches so that your muscles won't be paining you. Exercise will prevent them. Number 3, it will improve blood supply to muscles. What will improve blood supply to muscles? Exercise. That's why they are very important. And then number 4, it will strengthen heart and lung muscles. And then number 5, quickly, it will ensure smooth functioning of your what? Your joints. If you get this very quickly with me, that means you understand everything about the muscular system that we need to understand. Let's look at some past questions. If you fail anyone and not you, look at this question. JAMB 1981 question 34. The question all the way, it says, the tissue that connects a muscle to a bone is what we connect a muscle to a what? A bone. I told you, just know your BBL. BBL is bone to bone ligament. So what is the answer there? Tendon is what we connect your muscle to bone. Is it your cartilage? Is it your muscle fiber? Is it your tendon? Or is it your ligament? What is the answer? Tendon. Option C is the correct answer. BBL is bone to bone. Another question, powerfully, were 1990 question 26. The same question, they twisted it. Muscles are indirectly attached to bones by means of, is it your ligaments? Is it your membranes, your tendons? or your what? Your suture. If you're in the example, what do you write? BBL, bone to bone ligament, because this guy is your muscle and your bone. What is the answer? Tendon. Option what? C become the answer. Aya, look at this powerful question. 1997 question 22. The question says a band of connective tissues linking two bones in a joint. What will link two bones? Two bones, right? They're asking you two bones, bone to bone. What is it? Ligament. Is it your tendon? Is it your cartilage? Is it your synovial membrane or your ligament? What is the answer? Ligament is the answer option. The share is it now. Very simple. If you get that, look at 1995 question 19. The question says during the bending of the arm, the biceps muscle. Look at my arm now. When I bend the arm like this, what will happen? That's what the question is saying. The biceps muscle will do what? Option A, it will contract. If I bend the arm like this, that's flexion. I flex it. Biceps will undergo contraction. Yes. Triceps muscle will undergo what? Relaxation, because they are antagonistic muscles, right? Option B says biceps will relaxes and triceps will contract. Option C says biceps and triceps muscles will contract. Option D says the triceps and the biceps muscle will relax. It can't be these two. Never. Because muscle pull will occur if they go that way. What will happen? During the bending of the arm, as you bend the arm, what will happen? Biceps muscle will do what? Contract. Triceps will do what? Relax. So it's the answer option what? A become the what? Correct answer. You are out of there. As I bend it like this, biceps will do what? Contract. Triceps will do what? Relax. Are you seeing it now? You get that? That's all about your muscular system. You want to reach out to LearnLift? This is LearnLift contact. WhatsApp us. We're going to be attending to you powerfully well. Don't forget to go through my notes. It's very important. Inside that note, there are 10 powerful questions for you to go and answer for me. Are you seeing it now? 10 powerful questions. More questions. Go and run all of them. Or just go straight to the past question segment of the app. Click on the past question segment and then practice the CBT there now and get it. Let me see your answers. Very importantly, spread the good news. Tell somebody about LearnLift app. Please, after each class, it's important and empirical that you run to the notes as I watch you now. Go there. I'll see you in the next class. And guess what? That next class, we're going to be looking at skeleton from the beginning to the end. Are you ready? Of course, this is your score, and score is a component of the skeleton. I'll see you in that class. This class you just finished watching, of course, is brought to you by what? By the LearnLift app. Oh yes. And within the LearnLift app, you have access to all your classes from the beginning to the end. Everything is well organized for you. Every singular subject, every singular topic followed in line directly with your syllabus and your curriculum. And of course, can I tell you something lovely about the LearnLift app? Oh, this is the sweet part of it. You have access to your JAMB classes within the LearnLift app. You have access to your WAEC, your NECO, your GC classes. You have access to your post-UTME classes. And that's not all. Of course, for your secondary school, you have access to your secondary school classes, whether SS1, SS2, SS3. You have access to your classes directly. And of course, if you're in the university, you have access to your 100 level as well as 200 level classes, all within the LearnLift app. And of course, your 200 level classes are for medical students. All of them are there, well structured and highly organized for you. But please, before you proceed, just head down to your Play Store or your App Store and just type what? LearnLift. Immediately you type LearnLift, of course, the app is going to pop up for you and you download the app and then you start learning immediately. And also very quickly, all you're going to do is that in the description of this video or in the comment section, just open it. You see the link to our WhatsApp channel. Click on it and you are in the WhatsApp channel already, where I'm going to be dropping information every blessed day on a regular basis. And also very important, if you want to reach out to LearnLift, this is LearnLift contact. Any of the two, right? Just copy it down and then WhatsApp us, right? Either you send WhatsApp message or you put a call across to us and all of that, and we're going to attend to you immediately. Guess what? I'll see you in the next chapter. For the now, peace out. Bye.